calls upon Congress for the second time in a late Saturday, in a late Christmas Day message to send out the $2,000 stimulus check right away. President Donald Trump, in a late message minutes ago, after all the recordings of this channel today, in the middle of the night, said that he was on phone calls today urging congressional leaders to send out a $2,000 stimulus check. And he said, you know what? It's time to do it. It wasn't the American people's fault. It was China's fault. And he's urging this $2,000 stimulus check to go right out right away. What's interesting about this comment? Well, a lot of things. I'll be covering it in tonight's Purple Power Live. Thank you for tuning in direct from Los Angeles, live on out of Los Angeles, shortly after about 7 o'clock on the West Coast. This is Purple Power Live, our evening live show that covers state unemployment benefits, rent, utilities, food, and more. Did I bring my notes on set? I did. And also anything that's breaking by the minute, and apparently something breaking by the minute right now, which is your second stimulus check and second stimulus package. If you're joining me on a taped recording after the show airs live, don't worry, because I'll repeat the details of what's breaking by the minute at the 15-minute mark. We're starting with 200 people in the room. But as the show progresses, I'll update you again at the 15-minute mark, and if we're still running at 30, I'll recap it as well. It has been a big day. It has been a big day as your bill has gone on a tour. You're at stay at home. You're on lockdown. You're not traveling during the holidays, but the bill is just flying first class. The 5,000-page bill is now landed in Florida, and is looking the president down straight in the eye. Nancy Pelosi printed out the 5,000-page bill. Well, she didn't physically print it out. She hired someone to do it, and sent the bill first class to Florida. And which bill is this? This is a $600 bill. This is the $600, not the $600 bill. The bill with the $600 stimulus check in it, not the $2,000 stimulus check. There is no $2,000 stimulus check bill still. This is the $600 bill. And the $600 stimulus bill provision is now affectionately called by me as the one that has pork sliders in it. Nancy loves her sliders, and she slid some pork sliders into the $600 stimulus check bill. And those pork sliders are one, the add-on of bail of foreign aid for foreign countries, and two, the add-on of aid for museums in DC. $8 billion for foreign countries, $1 billion for museums in DC. That is actually what's still in the bill. And the president on Tuesday said he wants three things removed. He wants the $600 changed to $2,000. He wants the foreign aid removed, and he wants the museum aid removed. Well, millions of Americans want the same thing. Twitter was trending out of control on Monday when we found out that a stimulus emergency bill in the thick of winter that is supposed to be done in a short turnaround time suddenly had $8 billion in it for foreign aid. It's not really aid because it's not going to people in those countries. It's for militias and things like that. The second one is $1 billion for museums. And this is not museums that are financially hurting. This is Smithsonian in Washington, D.C. $1 billion for one museum. What? To go buy a bust of a naked Greek mythology character? I just like, to go paint the floor? Why are they getting $1 billion? America was just outraged by it. What's interesting about tonight's tweet by the president minutes ago, saying that he had called congressional leaders and asked them to get this check to $2,000, is it doesn't talk about the other two items. What's interesting about the tweet is what's not in there. The president in the tweet minutes ago said he had called congressional leaders and talked about the $600 stimulus check. It's calling it ridiculous. Why is it not $2,000? But he doesn't talk about the foreign aid issue, and he doesn't talk about the museum money. And hence, what is one to say? Did he just ran out of characters on Twitter, had no space to tweet that as well? Or did he talk about it? Or did he just, did he just not want to tweet about what he had talked about? And so hence you have a lot of things happening in a short period of time. And the one thing he did is, of course, plug It's the Trump International in Palm Beach. I was at the Trump International in Palm Beach, at which we have a sale currently at $34.99, and we're still taking reservations in the holiday season. And I was at the Trump International Palm Beach, and I called Congress. Most of the characters of the tweet is encompassed by the name of the hotel at which he was calling from. But there we are. You see the priorities of how what we're dealing with right here. Uh, so Merry Christmas. Hello, Mary Cyrus. Mary Cyrus, well, thank you too. Um, there's a false narrative. Let me see what someone just tweeted. There's a false narrative going around Twitter stating that the foreign aid was part of Trump's budget bill. Um, it is part of Trump's budget bill. Well, it was not put in by Trump. It was put in by Nancy Pelosi. Let me recap where you are. If you're new to this coverage, if you took off, if you took off for Christmas and you're getting wrapped up and up to date where we are. Uh, the budget bill that was passed on Tuesday landed in Mar-a-Lago, Florida, on the president's table, sent there by Nancy Pelosi, first class in the mail, in the plane, in the jet. He has until Sunday to make a decision on what to do with the bill. He can veto it, he can approve it, he can sign it, or he can just do much of nothing. The bill has in it three provisions, which the president said on Tuesday, I don't like. One is foreign aid to foreign countries. Second is massive, massive bailouts of museums in Washington, D.C. And the third one is your stimulus check. He said, take out all three things or I'm not signing it. He made it very clear. Take out all three things or I'm not signing it. Nancy Pelosi yesterday in the House said, I'll take out one, the stimulus check, and switch it to 2000, but I'm not taking out the foreign aid and I'm not taking out the museums because she wrote it. She put them in there. So she specifically said, I'm not taking it out and it's staying in there. And what she's doing on Monday is also keeping it in there, which is in essence setting up the bill to fail because it has two of the three things he said to take out. The Republicans on the other side are talking about the other two things. The foreign aid the Republicans want to take out, and the museums the Republicans want to take out. But they're not talking about the stimulus check because they're deflecting. They're avoiding the subject. So here you go. With that, you're up to date so far. And I'll give you another update at the 15-minute mark. Any questions so far as to where we are? Did you see Lindsey Graham's tweet about Section 230? I did not. Everyone seems to have an opinion about something in Congress, but doesn't seem to do much of anything. So at some point, it gets a little tiring. I used to quote Lindsey Graham throughout all of November because Lindsey Graham Lindsey Graham said make it 1,200, call it a day. Lindsey Graham, supported the problem solvers, said, I support the problem solvers, but he never did it. He said verbally, I support the problem solvers, but never supported the problem solvers. So it's very sort of overwhelming with these people where they say one thing and they do another thing. Um, David Ortiz. Oh boy, I love your comment. They wouldn't negotiate for us, so they're going to go down as low as they can. Can Trump override anyone in the Senate? Um, no, he can. No, not the way it's set up now. The Senate had enough yes votes, that the Senate can override a veto if he does veto it. Any other great questions? That was a really great question. I like your look tonight. Well, I appreciate that. Trade-off hopefully happening 2:30 for 2000. What? I don't understand what that means. The Instagram room was frozen. Oh, there, now it's moving. Do you have any ideas why Trump doesn't do executive orders? I don't think his mind is there. I just don't think he is interested in doing them at all. I believe $200 is great, but for Congress, now the questions moved very quickly. My unemployment runs out Sunday. I'm not happy, someone said. I'm paraphrasing. Really, not really nice of them. So let me go to now unemployment for a second, because even though this is not, is Trump leaving or not? Uh, that's good. What do you think is going to happen? Let me answer the person's question about unemployment. So everyone's unemployment PUA and PUC will expire. They'll expire on Sunday. Now, you were never going to get paid the week and the first week of January of unemployment benefits. Not this week, but the first week of January on time. But this week will be not on time as well. So you were never going to get your first week of January on time and your second week of January on time because Congress waited too late. The problem is now we're at the next to last week of December or the last week of December, so you're not going to get that one as well. Will the eviction moratorium be back in the Biden bill? No, Catalina. I think Biden's on day one going to do an executive order for that. On day one, I think Biden's going to do executive order for three things: mortgage forbearance, student loan forgiveness, and eviction moratorium. I was cooking all day. I just got here. What I missed? If you're just joining the room, there'll be an update at the 15-minute mark and another one at the 30-minute mark. Do you really think that Biden would do executive order? Yes, I think he'll do executive orders, big ones on day one, and then there'll be some more that coming up. But I do believe he's going to do eviction moratorium, mortgage forbearance, and for student loan debt forgiveness on day one. People on SSI disability. Oh, that question is passed. That was a great question. People on SSI disability, what gross salary do they go by for the 20% lifetime raise? Oh boy, that's a really great question, Cindy. I don't have that in front of me. I don't have that in front of me. And even when I read it, it was really complicated. So I don't remember, but yeah, so sorry. I did have a good Christmas. Thank you. I hope you did too. Why can't Trump do executive orders? Because he just doesn't want to. I think we should. Um, Someone said $1,200 is a joke. How soon after Biden is in office will he start his package? Great question, Stacy. So there's a point of between when should he and when will he? I don't know when will he, but Nancy had said she's going to start writing the Biden stimulus package now, which she has to. She should finish the Biden stimulus package and have it ready for a vote the second week of January. She shouldn't start writing it on the day of inauguration day. In fact, she could put it. She could write it, put it to a vote, and have it approved in the House, and have it ready to go to the Senate the day of inauguration day. So she should not even be waiting there's a time of the essence, and I would presume someone in the Biden camp is going to say to her, "What the hell are you doing? You need to hurry up really quickly and get this going." This is how Obama and Biden did it originally when they bailed out the banks. They had that bill passed within blinking minutes. I mean, just in seconds it was passed. So you don't want to sit back and start writing a 5,000-page bill at the end of January and say, "Okay, I'll see you in March." No, you got to have it ready to go now. Put down the ice cream and start writing the darn bill. Yes, absolutely. Do you honestly think we'll see stimulus payments? Absolutely, you will see them. Yes. Will Biden have hazard pay? Yes. Will Biden do hazard pay? Yes. Is there still state and local assistance? Yes. And there's going to be more of it. There's state and local. And with that, let me get to purple because we haven't done purple for a few days. There is state and local stimulus. Um, I did not have any bacon though. Will Biden do retro pay? He's promising to do retro pay at FPUC back to July, $600 a week, and then bring it up to the present, which would correct or override the current bill. If we get $2,000, will married couples get 4,000? Yes. How do I get paid the hazard pay? I have not seen Joe's bill yet, but Nancy's bill said the employer applies for you, not you. LA, will Biden's package be passed if the Democrats uh, can't pass the Um, what I think the question is referring to, will you see a different Biden package, stimulus package in the spring, in January, if the Senate remains GOP? Absolutely, absolutely. Do you think the adult dependents will get included? Yes. Do I cook? Yes. Will Biden do retro pay for stimulus, monthly stimulus? Yes. For FPUC? Yes. When is Nancy retiring? Next year. Oh, thank you for the super chat. Trump told Lindsey he will not go less than $2,000. Okay. Lindsey Graham's probably going to repurpose negotiations. I couldn't say what that said. Let me do some Purple Power Live now about state stimulus because it's very important. And at the 30-minute mark, I'll give you an update about your second stimulus check, the $2,000 stimulus check. So let's cut to some Purple Power Live stuff. What's important to understand is when you're looking at state stimulus, you have rent, utilities, and food. And when we start with the city, county, state, they may not have money now, but if this bill, the $2,000 stimulus package bill, is passed, there's a massive amount of money that's being provided for rent. That rent is going to go to the state, cities, and counties, and then they'll have money. So you're going to call, you're going to go this weekend on your city, county, state housing authorities websites. City, county, county housing authority, city housing authority, and state housing authority website, and look for rent assistance because of COVID. Look for utility assistance because of COVID, and the keywords are assistance, rent assistance, or utility assistance. Also, if you find the phone numbers, get them saved and write them down and call them on Monday. What's important is to save these locations on your phone or on a piece of paper, because whatever cities or states tell you, and this is very, very, very important, whatever cities and states tell you that they don't have it now or they had it but it ran out, guess what? If this stimulus package bill passes, they're going to have the money in a few weeks. So I'm going to say that again. If you're in a city or county and they said, we don't have any more money, we already used it up, get ready because in a few weeks they're going to have the money. But in this video, I'm not going to have you wait for a few weeks. I'm going to have you get money right now for other ways. So the organizations that are paying rent across the country for viewers of this channel are United Way, Salvation Army, Catholic Charities, and St. Vincent de Paul, and Community Action. That's Community Action, St. Vincent de Paul, Catholic Charities, and United Way. They're helping viewers in all parts of the country. And so ultimately, if your city, county, and state is not paying you rent or doesn't have any money to pay you rent, reach out to these charities. Next, reach out to your utility companies. You can get them on the phone over the weekend. You're asking for utility assistance. Don't add any other words. Don't add words like SSI or SSDI. Don't say stimulus. Don't add complicated words. Just say, so someone said, I got $45 in HEAP grant. Thanks to LA's encouragement, I turned into a $416 grant. Congratulations, Nancy. So there you go. And what I also tell viewers like Nancy is, if you got 416, don't stop there. Go for something else on top of that. Go looking for something else. So she got HEAP, which I think is heating oil. So next, focus on rent. Rent you can get as well. Now, if the utilities, most of the utility companies are providing assistance. And that assistance, as I keep on kicking things tonight, is often gotten from the utility company themselves. But as you saw 2 nights ago on Purple Power Live, we had 4 viewers in the chat who are all from St. Louis. And those 4 viewers in the chat from St. Louis, the same town, got utilities paid by 4 different organizations. So what's important to understand is there's lots of organizations paying utilities. Utilities is an easy one. I got $7,200 in rent assistance through Community Action in Washington. So that's wonderful. Kimmy got $7,200 in rent assistance through Community Action in Washington. So that's one of the nonprofits I started tonight with. HEAP is helping for utilities. Wonderful. HEAP gave me $550, but I lost the rest of the sentence. How can we take you seriously with that hat? Well, just look above here. Community Action Ohio. Yes, absolutely. Community Action Ohio. So, on top of those nationals, I'll say them again: Community Action, Catholic Charities, St. Vincent de Paul, United Way, Salvation Army. These are the ones that are paying rent in particular cities. I got 650 utilities fuel assistance. Congratulations. So here we go. Um, what happened with New York? New York has rent stimulus across your entire state of New York now. So Ashley is sort of an example. This is for Ashley. I'm not calling you out. I'm being polite about this. So Ashley just wrote, all rent in California is out. They say it's all gone. Okay, so there's about five things wrong with that sentence, Ashley. The first thing is you're focusing only on the state level. And I'm not calling you out. I'm trying to use this as sort of a working example. All rent is in California is out, as she wrote. They say all gone. That's great. We already know that. At the state level, the rent is gone. So Ashley is assuming that all rent at the county level is gone and all rent at the city level is gone because she was told at the state level it's gone. Not true. That's absolutely untrue. Counties here and there do have rent in the state of California. For example, San Bernardino County has rent. There have been other counties. San Diego had rent, but it expired about a week ago. Now, ultimately, someone may jump in the comments and say, "Well, that's just two of the counties." Well, no, there's a lot of counties in California that are paying rent, but I'm not done there yet. She said also, there's no rent in California. Tell that to the viewers who got rent in California. How did they get it? By what I just talked about. I've had not one, not two, but three different viewers of this channel get massive amounts of rent, $7,000 to $10,000 from Catholic charities in California. Again, that's a nonprofit, so they understood that there was no rent at the state level, as she correctly said, that there was no rent in their county level, which might have been like Los Angeles, but they got rent from the nonprofits. So that's your working example for the night. Do not start and just presume there's nothing there. Now, someone Caesar just said Orange County in Florida makes it hard for all. I know there's always an example of something that's hard. For example, in Orange County, you have to get up at 8 o'clock in the morning and be in a lottery. And Jacksonville has rent, Nashville has rent, City of New York, City of Atlanta, County of DeKalb, County of St. Louis, County of Gwinnett, and the entire state of New York. So there is an example how you get from A to B. Nevada Rural Housing Authority in Northern Nevada paid my rent for several months, which came in at $7,920. I'm going to read Jen's comment again. Congratulations, Jen. Nevada Rural, and I didn't bring my pen on set. Darn. Nevada Rural Housing Authority in Northern Nevada paid my rent for several months, which came in to $7,920. You know why I like this example? Is because I've never heard of this organization. And here, Jen G did a great job in finding the right organization in the state that pays rent. Nevada Rural Housing Authority in Northern Nevada. So congratulations. Wow. There you go. So Miss Ashley has a great comment. She's looking for rent and utilities in which state is it? Minnesota. So she's not good at looking. So with that, I would look to the volunteers to help you. Okay, here's Kern County. Okay, so here's California. California's not paying anything. Kern County, Cindy Skipper. Kern County Housing Authority gave me a check for rent of $5,078. Wow, congratulations. We've had $12,000 reported in this channel just the last 5 seconds. Kern County Kern County Housing Authority gave me a check for rent of $5,078. I'm loving this chat so far. And I'm fearing that I may have missed some as well. Need help in Knoxville, Tennessee. I would consider community action. Has anyone heard anything in Florida? Was that Oh, has any Clark has a great question. Florida extended benefits. I had heard Flo was doing extended benefits. Does anyone know in the room? I had heard someone tweet, someone in the room the other night say Flo was doing extended weeks of benefits. I love LA that you help us all. I appreciate that. I'm just tuning in and can you recap? Yes, I'll recap at the 30-minute mark, which is coming up in about 4 minutes from now. Wisconsin, yes, there's rent. Can my roommate get rent assistance? No, only the person who's on the lease. I haven't been looking at my Instagram room, people, so I'm so sorry. Uh, are they doing rent assistance in West Virginia? They are. I've had a viewer that got big rent in West Virginia. LA, he paid my entire Con Ed bill. I'm happy. Wow. How many months of Con Ed did they pay, Chef Roberto? West Virginia, I can't find anything, Todd. Viewers have gotten big rent in West Virginia from this channel. Oregon, I don't have anything specific for Oregon, but I would consider everything that I talked about. Is Texas doing extended benefits? I have not heard that. 425, Roberto. Oh, wow, that's wonderful. Congratulations. Someone said I look like Toy Story. ah, Rosby. If you've not subscribed to this channel, please subscribe and also hit that alert button on the front of this channel and also like this video. Please, please subscribe. Number one fan here in Tucson. East Texas. I would consider Catholic Charities Regina Star. I would consider Catholic Charities for Texas. Are you having a bad hair day? Yeah, I just didn't want to set it. I just didn't want to set it. I'd rather not set it and I just sort of relax a little bit. It's like you look like the character in Toy Story. I got rent assistance in New York. Congratulations. Yes, New York now has rent across the board. There's Freddie from the Philippines. Hello, how are you? Freddie from the Philippines is joining us. Yes, there is rent assistance now across the entire state of New York. Say my name. I'm LA's number one fan. Thank you so much. Rent assistance for Florida. Yes, nearly every county in Florida. Orange. Wait, there was someone. Uh, Ocean County, New Jersey, paying utilities got 416. Ocean County, New Jersey. So he got utilities paid from the county. That's wonderful. Congratulations, T Lust. $416. Is Facebook being updated? What do you mean by is Facebook being updated? I don't know what. And someone wrote that before. What do you mean by Facebook? The page. No, why? No, the page is not being changed. Why do you ask that? Texas, Catholic Charities. New York does have utilities. East Texas, Catholic Charities. Utilities in New York, this entire state has utility assistance. Riverside County. Someone got in San Bernardino County. I don't know if Riverside County. Look for your Riverside County Housing Authority. Housing Authority. Riverside County Housing Authority. What happens to PUA claims made in the last 2 weeks? Okay, so let me go over that. And let me go over that. Being a Mitch is the unemployment Q&A show of this channel. I'm not getting updates from your Facebook page. The Facebook page is facebook.com/LALATE news. Hopefully, I'm not posting the lives on there, the live videos. The way the unemployment's going to work, and I'll have an update for you at the 1 minute mark in 1 minute from now. The way the unemployment's going to work is the last week you can certify for benefits is this week because your PUA and PUC is going to expire this weekend unless you have extra weeks of benefits or just became unemployed. Um, But if Congress takes care of this, you'll get reactivated. There's just going to be a delay in getting your benefits paid to you. Someone was bothering you, Miss Ashley. Um, send me a yeah, send it to me again on Instagram if I didn't see it. I thought today was the last day was today. No, the law is the 27th. Now every state can end PUA or PUC earlier. It just depends on the state. Oh, someone said Facebook was messed up earlier. Someone said Facebook was down earlier, and now it's working. So I did not know that. Okay, now at the 30-minute mark, here's your update on your second stimulus check and second stimulus package. Thank you for joining me. If you're just joining me now, live from Los Angeles for Purple Power Live, our evening Q&A show on your second stimulus check and second stimulus package, and also the latest on your state stimulus assistance across the board. This is the sister show to Purple, which is taped every day on afternoons at LALATE that goes over the same states, cities, and counties that are providing you rent assistance, utility assistance, and food assistance, and state stimulus checks as well. If you need help, go to the community page as well, news.lalate.com/community. The update tonight is a major series of events occurred late this evening. This is the first video that's covering this series of events. The series of events were the president had spoken to top Republicans in the Senate and said, "What's going on? I'm not going to agree to this ridiculous $600 stimulus check. It has to be at least $2,000, or I'm not doing this deal. Get on board, or you're not going to see this as law." He said this in a series of, and he said this in a tweet late tonight, and that tweet underscored several issues. One, that he feels frustration that Republicans are not understanding his message, that he wants a $2,000 stimulus check. This message of about a larger stimulus check is not new. I've been reporting for upwards of several months that Steve Mnuchin's last offer to Nancy Pelosi was $2,000. So Republicans in the Senate should be fully prepared to hear from this president. He wants $2,000. For them to suggest $600, which was Mr. McConnell's idea, is not listening to what the president has said for many months. The president has repeated this and repeated this over and over again. But what's interesting in this tweet tonight is he did not mention the other two things, which he said were why he also did not sign the bill. They are big bailouts to foreign countries, upwards of $8 billion to foreign countries, and then $2 billion for museums in Washington, D.C. to fix them and paint them and do new flooring. He wanted both of those two provisions out. But in his tweet tonight, which of course is limited by the number of Twitter characters, by Twitter, standards, he didn't mention those two other things. He said he had a series of calls today, and Lindsey Graham apparently spoke about those calls as well. So there you are. You're now up to date. We're seeing this sort of progress further, and it seems very good that the president has his finger on pushing this to the finish line. It seems as though people need to wake up. You'll see me over the next day or two in the recordings repeating a common message that the president asked for three things to be done and changed in the stimulus package, and that the Democrats only want to change one of the three things, and the Republicans only want to change two of the things. Hi, Kiana. Thank you for joining us tonight. The Democrats want to change the stimulus check, but refuse to take out the foreign aid and the museum aid. And then the Republicans want to take out the foreign aid and the museum aid, but don't want to do the stimulus check. And there you go. Let's get back to the chat. Will you start doing segments going live with viewers on Instagram for questions? Well, I always have answered questions from Instagram viewers in the live broadcast. So if you have a question, the wave, you can drop it here and I'll answer the question. What's the latest status in Georgia? I don't know. I've not followed the polls. No money for other countries. You're the best. I appreciate that. Hello, Ohio. Thank you, Sandy. Turn your hat backwards. I love there's always a comment in the room that says, "Can you stand up? Can you turn around? Can you turn the hat around? Can you take your jacket off? Can we show your hair?" I'm not a webcam model. At least not yet. What does your search say? Yeah, the Instagram, the YouTube room can't see the shirt, but the Instagram room can see the shirt because your camera's lower. It's like, can you turn around? Yeah, can you go backwards? Can you turn your hat on the backwards? Yeah, can you, it's just which agency in New York for utilities? Whichever one you're using, but also the state is now doing a rent assistance across the entire state. But I would also consider HEAP. Chef Roberto, I think you're in the Instagram room. The viewer was asking what organization in New York did you turn to for assistance for utilities? I think Chef Roberto is at Staten Island. So if you can post that in the Instagram room for the nice person who asked that question. Um, Heap for Utilities, says Nancy in the YouTube room. Thank you, Charlotte. I really appreciate that. Thank you, Kathleen. Green tamales. Yes. Uh, yeah, say my names. Yeah, this is not OnlyFans. This is YouTube. This is not OnlyFans, and I'm not charging $2.99 to take off my hat really slowly to provocative music. L.I. Heap, says Dreamweaver. L.I. Heap is for the utilities in New York. Flip the bill of your hat. It doesn't flip. It's a flat. It's a flat rim hat. Don't flip so you don't move. Oh my goodness. OnlyFans, yeah. This is not OnlyFans. This is YouTube. This is not 199. See me take off my jacket for you. That's not that type of show. Oh. Access HRA. Okay, so Chef Roberto got utilities helped. Chef Roberto got utilities paid for in New York from Access HRA. So there you go. Um, someone just had a great comment. Jewish Family Services for utility and rent assistance. Oh, thank you, Janet. Uh, from a Chanel beauty advisor. Jewish Family Services for utility assistance, for utilities and rent assistance. Oh, wow. So I'll consider that one as well on my list of items. Jewish Family Services. So let's all remember that. Jewish Family Services and Access HRA in New York for utility help. It's been a great night. Thank you for joining me on Evenings LALATE for Purple Power Live. What a great night this has been. A lot of success stories. We saw at least $12,000 viewers have gotten in tonight's chat. We found about 3 or 4 more utility companies paying utility assistance. And we answered viewers' questions. Viewers answered other viewers' questions just like minutes ago, where someone needed assistance for utilities in New York, and 2 other viewers had the answer for them as well. Thank you for a great night. Stay with me, and please subscribe to the Funnest channel. Hit that alert button, and also tell your friends as well. This weekend is going to be full-on major developments. I don't think it's going to be a slow weekend. I think it's going to be very busy. So as always, have a great evening, and see you tomorrow morning at 1 a.m. Pacific Standard Time with EIDL. That's followed at 2 a.m. Pacific Standard Time with PUA, and then back on at 6:30 a.m. Eastern Standard Time, which is 3:30 on the West Coast. Early mornings, LALATE, followed by the second half of the show, 30 minutes thereafter. As always, stay informed, stay smiling, stay LA for more.